I'm Cameron Smith, F-15 fighter pilot for the Florida Air National Guard. The flight suit's my daily uniform. It's sage green, it's very comfortable, it's lightweight, but it's also fire retardant. Even though a lot of heat can transfer through the flight suit, what it will do is it won't melt. It'll just char in case of a fire so that way our bodies don't burn or the clothes don't melt to our body. On our left arm, we have our wing patch. It's all-encompassing of the Florida Air National Guard. On my left chest, I've got my name patch, which shows my name, my wings showing that I'm a pilot, and the F-15 on there. On the right side is the Air Combat Command patch. That is from where the Florida Air National Guard takes our orders. And on my right arm is a pilot-specific patch for the 159th Fighter Squadron, known as the Boxing Gators. We have a lot of gators down here. That's why they picked the gator, and then they put some boxing gloves on them to make them look a little tougher. Inside the cockpit is very aggressive. We're maneuvering, we're constantly having to see who's behind us. Very important that we have a flight suit that's very flexible, very comfortable, and that also doesn't have anything that can hang on any of the switches or any of the handles inside the cockpits. The uniform certainly, it draws a lot of attention. For me, it's exciting, but it also makes me proud too, seeing the reactions that other people have to it, especially. It's always good. Before I fly, I go into aircrew flight equipment. That's our locker rooms where our harnesses, our G-suits, our helmets are all in there. So we add to our uniform so that we're prepared for the day's flight. It integrates us with the jet so that our systems work with us for safety and also enhances our situational awareness when we're in the jet. Our G-suit connects into the jet. It provides pressurized air around our legs so that it can keep blood flow in our upper body when we're pulling G's inside the jet. Pressurizes up to 80 psi, and it really constricts those blood vessels. That way it can hold the blood into our upper body so that our vital organs, our heart, our brain, our eyes can keep blood flow to them to maintain consciousness, awareness, and very acute vision to be able to see outside the jet. The harness connects us to our ejection seat and can provide safe egress in the event of an emergency. It also has a life raft on it so that if we were to egress into the ocean or into a river, it also provides flotation for us. There's 5 connections on the harness, 2 of which are on our shoulders and they connect us to our parachute. There's 1 across our chest that tightens the harness down around us, and 2 that actually go around our legs so that when we're under a canopy, it keeps us tight against that parachute and we wouldn't fall out of the harness underneath it. The last item in our flight gear is the helmet. Our helmet's one of the most advanced in the world. It projects information, missile information, aircraft information right in front of my eye on a lens. Inside our mask, we have a microphone so that we can communicate inside our jet and with the other jets inside our flight. We have an oxygen hose which provides 100% pure oxygen. The helmet's made of a composite material that is very durable, but it's also very light. After I get on all my gear before I fly, it's important that we test it. I test my helmet, I test my microphone, and I test my oxygen system. The helmet inflates on the inside, the oxygen starts flowing, I can hear my voice. So just as I get in the jet, when I connect myself to the Scott tester, I'm able to use the helmet just as I would in the jet. Once I've tested my helmet and make sure that it's working properly, I put it in my helmet bag and I get ready to walk it out to the jet. It's so exciting to walk outside and to see my jet there, knowing that the guys have been working on it all day, that it's ready to fly and that it's ready for me to go out and be able to fight another mission. I know that when I get in the jet, we're gonna go out and we're gonna train so that we can maintain air superiority. So it's amazing to be able to fly every day, especially over Jacksonville, my hometown, and over the state of Florida. And being able to protect our country and our state is truly special to me. The F-15's never been shot down by an enemy aircraft. We have a perfect record of 104 aerial victories and 0 defeats. We have 2 engines, they're both Pratt & Whitney engines. They're jet-powered engines with afterburns on them. The maximum speed of the F-15 is Mach 2.5, so that's 2.5 times greater than the speed of sound. Up at altitude, when our jet's really going fast, we're doing over a mile every 3 seconds. We carry all air-to-air missiles. We have long-range radar-guided missiles, and then we have short-range missiles that are guided based off of heat. The F-15 being able to go over the speed of sound allows our missiles enhanced kinematics because they don't have to go through the sound barrier. Our jet can get through that for our missiles, and it can be able to help our missiles guide further on other targets. We've got a 20mm Gatling gun. We can shoot about 6,000 rounds per minute with our Gatling gun. We've got a very large fighter jet So we're able to put a large radar in there that has a lot of capacity and a lot of power. So it allows us to be a very effective air-to-air fighter because we can use that radar to see targets out there a long, long way away. The bubble canopy allows us to sit high on the airframe so that we can have 360-degree views around the cockpit. My whole upper body is exposed in that bubble canopy so that I can look all the way around and I have very, very good vision outside the jet. It really becomes crisp and clear, and you can see so far. The view is amazing. We've got big, powerful engines, and those are offset by also very big, sturdy wings so that the jet maintains its maneuverability for the massive size of it. The wings are fixed so they don't move. They're swept back so that we can go really fast. The surface area of the wings is the size of a tennis court, so it's a really big fighter with really big wings, and that's what makes us so maneuverable. And now let me take you on an air superiority training mission with our squadron, the Boxing Gators. Behind the scenes, we've got a whole crew that's been working on the jet quite possibly for a day, 2 days, or a week to get it ready to fly that day. So we work together as a team. Our training mission starts with a brief from our SOF. He's our supervisor of flying. He's going to tell us anything that could affect us on that day's flight. His job is to keep us safe and to be our eyes and ears on the ground while we're up there flying. We're all getting in the jet at about the same time. We're starting our jets at the same time. My crew chief plugs up and he's checking everything on the outside. I'm monitoring the engines, making sure that they're in our parameters that we use to fly. And then we go into a series of flight control checks. So he's looking at the fluid levels, the tires, the wings, making sure things are moving appropriately. The crew chiefs work so hard. They make sure that the jets are running good. And as a pilot, you essentially have to trust them with your life. We tell our ground crew to remove our chocks from our jet, and then at this point we're ready to taxi. Once our flight lead taxis, then we'll give them a signal that we're ready to go, which is usually us waving 2 fingers. The salute is the final communication with our crew chief. So we're saying bye to him, he's saying bye to us. As we push up the power, we're looking at our RPMs, we're looking at our temperatures, we're looking at our fuel flows to make sure that the engines are corresponding to our throttle movement. We check our flight controls and give that final check as we're taxiing out to make sure that everything's working good, and as the jet's moving and as the power's being pushed up and as the tires are rolling, that everything feels normal, and that's making sure that jet is safe to fly. We go to an area where people aren't so that our missiles are armed hot, and then from there I'm pushing up the throttles as the afterburners kick in, and it allows the air to produce lift to get my jet off the ground. Takeoffs are amazing. You can actually look in your mirrors and you can see the runway, you can see the airport, and everything's just getting smaller as you're getting away from the ground. The mission today is BFM. It stands for Basic Fighter Maneuvering, commonly known as dogfighting. We go out there in a 1v1 type scenario and we see who can max perform the jet better. It's really aggressive. You're really maneuvering as hard as you can. You're pulling a lot of G's, so you're using your body, you're using your eyes, you're using your helmet to be able to maneuver that airplane. So it's very aggressive and we're maneuvering that airplane right to the limit. The number one rule when it comes to dogfighting is being able to maneuver in relation with your bandit. So you have to be able to see him. You have to be able to see him in great detail. So our helmet gives us an advantage because we never have to take our eyes off of him. We can see our missile data, our aircraft data just projected right in front of my eye. Every single situation you're in, every single turn, there's a different feel. And as you gain more and more experience in the jet, those feels become more familiar to you. And you as a pilot become more connected to your jet, and you can really push it to the boundary. You can maneuver to the max extent because you can really feel the cues inside your jet. Some pilots can see exactly how fast they're going just by the feel of the jet. They can tell how hard they're turning just by the feel of the G's on your body. You can solely put all your focus on the aircraft that you're fighting because you know your jet so well. So being fighter pilots, we live for getting in the air and flying and fighting. That is our favorite part of our job. That's our favorite part of our day. It is absolutely what we live for.